Black teen stopped in a hoodie by police. Was the officer wrong or right?
He's being detained for wearing a hoodie. Yeah, I'm not joking. He's being detained for wearing a hoodie.
It's a warm day to be wearing that jacket. You're gonna get hit by a car here. You're gonna get hit by a car here. Stop. Stop. I'm asking you to stop. I'm asking you to stop. I'm doing a traffic stop on you. You walked across the road in front of a car.
This happened in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, and the officer is Jake Tyson. And according to the father, the young man has severe eczema and he wears a hoodie to protect his skin from the sun. And trust me, I understand that. My wife has severe eczema and I completely get what this young man is going through. And we have to ask, why does this cop look like a fake cop? I have to be honest, when I was sent this video, that's what I thought this was. A man impersonating a police officer. Well, apparently, he's not a fake cop. He just dresses like one.
You heard him. The guy looked like a fake cop, but he was a real cop. Yep.
That's all you have to say about this story, really.
That's right.
Really?
That's right. Anyway, let's get all the way involved in this story.
Okay.
We're looking at a situation where, in my opinion, I felt like the cop may have overreacted in the situation.
I don't think so.
Okay? Of course you're not going to think so. Right. So, under what suspicion did this cop ever stated that there was a crime committed?
A crime
And
does not have to be committed.
It does have to
No,
be.
it does not.
Okay.
A crime does not have to be committed.
According to law.
As you can see, we was having a lot of talk behind the scenes, right?
According to law.
No.
Let me finish. According to law, a police officer have the right to stop you under the suspicion that there has been a crime committed. That cop then has to give you some sort of inclination as to, yes, there was a crime committed. You may look like the suspect. Secondly, that officer is not allowed to frisk you at all unless there is a suspicionable cause that you not may have a gun, but have a weapon and you are considered armed and dangerous. Under those two, let's continue this conversation.
Carry on. Whatever. Listen, I totally disagree with what you're saying. And I got to be honest with you. With so many things going on right now, right? Teen takeovers. Teenagers doing the most egregious nonsense that you could possibly think about.
Okay.
First of all, it's summertime. Keyword, summertime. What are you doing out there with a hoodie on? Full ensemble.
Okay.
Okay? It doesn't make any sense. Sorry about that. It doesn't make any sense. That's first of all.
Okay.
It's later discovered, right, that the teenager had eczema.
Right.
Why could he not articulate that?
So let's
Now,
pause for a second because somebody's walking down the street wearing a hoodie. Under what
It's
degree?
not just anybody wearing a
I'm just
hoodie.
saying,
It's a teenager.
It doesn't matter.
In this day and age,
it could have been an adult. There has been stories where adults have been stopped because they've been wearing a hoodie.
It looks quite odd. Okay, here's the thing. If it's 10
That
degrees
officer
outside,
wearing short pants is odd.
yo, because it's summertime.
Okay then.
And if he's a detective, right, give or take, listen, we're from New York. Detectives
Of
and
course.
cops,
They dress like that all the
They dress
time.
like that all the time. That's how you catch the perps, okay?
Okay.
You're not going to catch the perps all the time if you're in a full-on uniform. Secondly, not every sector of law enforcement requires you to wear your full uniform. This guy, he's doing what he has to do. He's cleaning up the neighborhood. He's cleaning up, the city, whatever, or the township. Once again, why did that kid come out in a hoodie? It's hot outside. It doesn't make any sense. Of course, it's going to look like,
it looks weird.
He's up. So you admit. He admits.
No.
He admits.
It looks weird, but it's still his prerogative whether he wants to wear a hoodie or not.
In this climate where there's so much going on with teenagers doing a bunch of stuff that they have no business doing. Take Chicago, for instance.
Okay, let's pause on Chicago.
Woo!
Now, that officer honestly could have easily diffused the situation by saying, listen, I know it's your prerogative to wear whatever you want to hear, but I received a phone call in regards to something so and so happening within
Maybe
the area.
he didn't receive a phone call.
Because if
it was just based on what
you
on
cannot
his.
just do that.
No, listen.
You have to have
If
a reason.
it is going to listen, I have to do my due diligence to see whether or not if they brought back stop and frisk. But I know at one point in time they did have
Listen,
it, and they took it off the table.
Stop
And
and
there
frisk?
are people
Listen,
now
Bill de
that's calling
Blasio,
back. No,
Bill de
no, no.
Blasio put a pause on stop
Listen,
and frisk in
and that was the worst
2014.
thing he could have done.
2014.
That was the worst thing he could have done.
He put a stop to it.
That was the worst thing he could have done. However, they're hoping to put it back on the table. I don't think it's on the table just yet, but they need it because it stops potential crimes and potential criminals from committing crimes.
That I
okay?
do.
Right now, safety is key for
Right.
natural, normal human beings that's not out there committing any type of crime.
Correct.
We need safety. And yes, certain safety mechanisms and measures have to be put in place.
Correct.
We can't keep singing the same song over and over. Oh my God, oh my goodness,
Mm-hmm.
something should have been done, something should have been done. But yet, when the cops do what they have to do,
Right.
it's like we come down on the cops. This
Okay,
is not right.
no
Their
problem.
hands are always tied.
Now, I do agree with
Their
you
hands
on
are
that.
always tied,
I
and
do
it's
agree
not
with
right.
you on that simply because of what has been on social media
Of course.
thus far. There's been a lot of
Listen, if
lot of
I was an
coonery,
officer-
a lot of foolery been going
Right,
on
right.
going on social media
Right,
that
yes.
can raise any type of suspicion.
That's true.
So I do agree. Let them stop and frisk.
If I was an officer, I'd be stopping them too. Why are you out here? Nike text, this, that, and the third. 90-degree weather. Don't you
Yeah.
sweat? You got people out there in tank tops and shorts and sweating.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
come on.
That's a whole different topic.
But here's the
as
thing.
to why they
All
wear that.
he had to do was to articulate to the officer.
really think so?
Mr. Officer, sir, I have eczema, and therefore I am covering up the eczema. But here's another thing. I guess he had eczema in his scalp too, because why would he have on the hoodie? Why did he have on the hoodie?
Okay, so slow down for a minute. Now, you're saying
Okay, you're trying to
you're
cover your
saying-
body with the eczema,
Right.
but why is your head covered?
You're
you have it in
saying-
your scalp too?
You're saying that he should have easily explained.
Yes, he should have.
First of all, is that officer a medical professional?
It
Is
does,
that,
no, he would have
No,
understood.
listen what I'm telling you. Listen,
I have a skin condition or disorder. That's
Listen.
all he had to say.
First off, that officer is not a doctor.
It doesn't matter.
Secondly, that officer is already hot-headed in the situation.
No,
that
he was not hot-headed.
He was hot-headed.
He said to him,
He was
said to
hot-headed
him-
because he couldn't get the kid to stop.
That's not true.
He kept saying, "I'm asking you to stop. I'm asking
Do
you to
you
stop."
guys agree or disagree?
He
That cop was
pissed-
not hot-headed
he was
because if it
pissed
was
off.
hot-headed, he would have tased his ass.
No, that didn't
No.
call for no tasing.
Okay, so that's what
It didn't call
hot-headed.
for the tasing.
That's what hot-headed means to me.
Okay, so
if you're gonna sit here and say the cop was hot-headed,
So-
then, in my opinion, he would have taken other actions.
Correct,
okay,
correct.
in order to neutralize the situation. That did
But
not
he-
happen. All
he
he
didn't.
used was his mouth. I'm asking you to stop. I'm asking you to stop. And homeboy did not stop. He kept walking. The teenager kept walking.
Right, but
why?
Going back to what you were saying, it's not easy to explain a medical condition to an officer
babe,
who already
you
feels
don't
like
know- babe,
feels like they are correct.
That's not true.
The
You
cop
trying
is
to
not-
win? He's trying to win this
listen,
debate by
the-
all means
the cop-
necessary.
I can- just
That's
let me
not true.
talk.
Okay, go ahead.
Listen, the cop, first off, is not going to say, "Okay, I'm sorry, have a great day." He's not going to
What
say
are you
that.
talking- you don't know that for a
first
fact.
off, he's
You're
going to say,
speculating.
he's going to say to him, "Do you have any proof of what you're saying?"
No, you
Do
can't.
you have any
okay,
proof of what you're
that's
saying?
not true. I highly doubt that.
Simply because these cops have been told numerous stories by numerous criminals
And I'm
in
pretty
regards
certain-
to
no,
in
I'm
regards
pretty
to their
cer-
freedom. And do
No,
you think that
no.
he's going to believe everybody who comes at him and tell him a
no,
story?
I'm pretty certain eczema was never brought up to a cop. Okay.
Not eczema,
No.
but other things.
Okay, so that's a whole totally different
Right,
story. And
but-
for the most part, it could have been verified because if your kid has eczema, obviously your parent or your guardian is going to know that the kid has eczema.
So guess what?
Listen,
So guess what? Here's what the parent should do. Here's what the parents should do. If your child has a disability or any kind of condition that could be suspicious towards a cop or a
have your kid walk around with a medical
no,
note?
not a medical note. You have the right to go down to the precinct, the local precinct, and register your child in that precinct to let them know that your child has a disability and for these cops to know of that.
That doesn't make sense.
Why does it not
Doesn't
make
make
sense?
sense.
It sure
This
does.
is for a situation dealing with heat.
If there's a blind child living in an
Oh,
area,
that's
a deaf
different.
child
Of
living in
course,
an area,
they're gonna have to
They
put
have
up
to
certain
register?
things
How do
on
you
the.
think-
They're gonna have
okay.
to put up certain things on the street, you know,
Okay.
for people
So-
with disabilities.
so how do you think- how do you
listen,
think this-
having eczema is not a disability.
how do you think this
having
little sign?
eczema is not a disability.
How do you think the sign goes up on the side of
Once
the thing?
again,
You
that's
have to
for a
register the child.
disability. Eczema is a skin disorder.
It's well, according to this, you're stating that if he would have simply explained it to the cop, he would have been let go of.
Okay, let's get back to the next video.
The thing is, it's not that easy for anybody.
No.
To explain
This is
to
how
any
I would
cop.
have handled it, and I don't care what you're talking nonsense right now. This is how I would have handled it. Okay, okay. Why are you wearing your hoodie? Such and such and such. Mr. Officer, sir, the reason why I'm wearing my hoodie is because I have a skin condition. I have atopic dermatitis, also known as eczema.
It sounds
And
very easy, right?
It is very easy.
is not.
Articulation is key. Verbalization is key. Speaking and communicating and eye contact is key. I don't want to hear it.
How about every other
Nope,
how about
nope.
every other criminal
Nope.
who was stopped and placed on the ground by a police officer, and they
No,
may have
because
said,
those
"Officer, I can't
situations-
breathe because I
Oh,
have
stop
asthma
it.
or I have some form of upper
stop.
respiratory
First
situation,
of all, a lot of
and I
times
can't
these
breathe," and the cops
situations,
still put
a
their
lot
pressure
of
on
times
them.
these situations get out of hand because the person who they're dealing with, a lot of times these people, they're not cooperative. They do
Okay.
not cooperate. They create a lot of problems, and then when you have to use force, excessive force, then at that point in time, I have asthma, I have trouble breathing, I can't breathe. Bullshit.
Right.
At the end of the day,
So-
if you know you had complications, you know you had health problems, and you know it could be exacerbated by excessive force, you need to comply.
So here's the thing.
That's
This is
it.
what I was telling you. The officer was already aggravated.
He was not aggravated. Why
He
you
was
keep
already
saying that?
aggravated. If you have to tell somebody numerous times to stop, you're about to get hit by a car, you're about to get this, you're about to do that. The fact that he almost got hit by the car was good enough for him to literally put his hands on him to stop
No,
him.
that's not what happened.
God knows how long he's been walking behind this kid telling him to stop.
Listen, he should have stopped. He should have stopped.
He should have stopped.
He should have stopped.
He
If
should
the
have stopped
cop-
and did what?
once again-
Explain himself.
Yes, he
Officer,
should have.
I have a skin
Yes, he
disease
should have.
that I have to wear this hoodie.
Listen, once again.
If anything,
he was stopped
eczema is irritated when the place is hot. So why would you not want to aerate yourself and have your body?
Well, ask him that. He
Okay,
wants
then.
to use the excuse
So
of
it's-
wearing a hoodie in the hot heat. I know I had
So,
eczema. Thank God I don't have it
you
anymore.
just said it.
And once again,
Right.
when during my little itchy sessions, you don't want anything to keep you hot and sweaty.
You just stated
You're
that
gonna be
you just
itching.
stated that it was an excuse. How do you think the cop would have took it? The cop would have
Once
took it like an
again,
excuse
no,
too.
not all the time. Everybody's eczema is different, but nevertheless, if maybe his works out for him when he covers it and protects it from the sunlight. But then
Listen.
again, too, right? Wait. Coming from a medical standpoint, there are certain creams that you do put on or apply to the affected area that should not be exposed to sunlight.
To sunlight, of course.
Okay?
Of course.
So maybe he is using some type of steroidal or cream or whatever,
Okay.
and he can't expose to
But
sunlight.
still, that's not up to him to prove it to the officer.
Once again, that's all he had to articulate. I'm pretty
It's
certain
not that
oh,
easy.
stop. I'm
It's
pretty
not
certain
that
that
easy.
officer is a dad and he has understanding.
It's
All
not
you
that easy.
Listen, it's called explaining yourself.
Right, you could
Okay?
try, but that don't mean the cop is going to understand you.
Not staying mum and recording for a clicks, attention, and views. Articulate to the officer. No, you totally ignored the officer, and then you had the nerve to keep walking, and then you're recording. It's giving what do you call these teens? It's giving typical teen.
Well, sometimes they may do that to cover their own situation.
I don't know about that.
He
but
might wanted to record it just in case
I
it
don't know
got out
about
of
that.
hand, and then when it got out
Okay,
of
but
hand,
even
he
if
has
that
proof.
is the case, okay, even if a lot of times,
But as you could see when he was crossing the street, he was fully aware of the car coming. The cop didn't even have to say anything about the car
No,
coming.
listen,
If you look at the way he was walking, his pace never changed. He kept the same pace. The only pace that changed was the officer's pace that was on the side of him. The officer was more afraid than he was. The kid walked across the street just normal.
First of all, homeboy was wearing a hood.
Okay, you're back to the hood.
It's hard to see. You're talking about the street and cross the street.
I was able to analyze the video. I saw his eyes when he looked at the car.
It's hard to see the street.
That's
when
an assumption. You're making assumptions.
What are you talking about?
Like
having on a hood is like having on blinders. It's hard to see what the hell is going on.
The kid was in an angle.
The cop was telling him a car is coming. A car. Watch out for the car. Watch out for the car.
They were walking across the street at an angle towards the traffic.
If the cop did not have any legal right, according to you, to stop him, well, at that point in time, he had the right once he walked in front of the car, because now it's considered jaywalking.
That's why. So he did, and he quoted the wrong reason why he stopped him.
Well, once again, the only mistake that the cop made was he used the wrong terminology.
He sure the hell did.
That's the only thing. But
the
I don't
only
have
thing
a
that
problem.
That child should have been ticketed for was jaywalking.
I don't have a problem with what he said in regards to stopping that kid to see what his intent was. Okay, like I said, all he had to do was elaborate and explain himself. He chose not to.
Okay.
So yes, it led him to end up being detained in the back of a cop car.
Correct.
So
and
whose fault is that?
And the only thing the officer had to do was explain himself. Listen,
No.
I got a call of somebody
He probably didn't get a call. Why you keep saying that?
I gotta whatever it is that they use, the terminology, that there was
10 out of 10, he did not get.
activity
Oh
in the
my
area.
God! He was not arresting him based on suspicion. He was stopping him based on suspicion.
He was trying to arrest him based on suspicion.
He was not arresting him based or anything based on no damn call.
Listen, he was trying to arrest him based on suspicion.
He was not trying to arrest him.
Okay,
He was trying to do an investigation.
An investigation on what?
He looked suspicious.
Okay, so that's a suspicion right there.
You're talking about some call. He didn't get a call.
Okay, then. So all he had to do was say, "Listen, you know, we received a notification that there was something foul or crazy happening in the neighborhood. We just wanted to see if you may have fit the category."
That probably was not the situation.
Well, the situation was.
He assumed because homeboy looked like he fit the criteria.
Right. You know how many people get killed out from assumptions?
Listen. My whole thing is this.
Assume.
Listen, my whole thing is this. I'm not enabling no situation if you are a minority or what they consider a minority.
The best thing to do
is do not look like what is out there getting in trouble. That's my advice.
Yeah, we can agree to that.
Because you can't sit here and put yourself in a situation and then cry out that somebody's harassing you. And then look for people to enable your bullshit.
Right.
I'm not enabling nobody's nonsense. If I know for a fact people who wear Nike Techs are getting pulled over or getting stopped and frisked, I'm not wearing a Nike Tech, nor am I buying one for my damn kids.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Whatever is on the up and up, whatever exudes positivity is what I'm gonna go with. I'm not gonna sit here and put myself in a predicament, and then turn around and cry victimhood and make myself a freaking victim. This shit is stupid.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I'm
it's
saying?
very stupid.
You do not put yourself in certain situations and then complain.
I do agree that the teenagers nowadays should be more appropriately dressed when they go outside instead of looking like the normal suspect, the typical suspect that the cops may go after or may have a
negative connotation,
suspicion about. That would eliminate you 100% from the problem.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I've been saying for the last 15 minutes.
No, you haven't been saying that.
Yes, I have.
You have not.
Let's make sense out of this situation. I'm not here to enable anybody, and I'm not going to do it.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So long story short, this kid was arrested. He was placed in the back of the police cruiser. And if you had seen the video, that police did not even search him properly. Because if he would have searched him properly, how did the kid still have his cell phone in the back of the car? Explain that one.
Maybe he didn't want to take his cell phone.
No, you see, that's the thing.
Maybe he didn't want to take his cell phone.
You cannot do one thing and don't do everything that's pertaining to an arrest.
Oh, was his cell phone a threat?
It doesn't matter. The cell phone could have been a weapon. It could have been any form of weapon that was not searched properly before you put that alleged crook into the back of your car. You're supposed to frisk completely before anybody gets into the car. Haven't you seen a recent story where the cop did not frisk and the cop ended up getting shot?
But yes, I know. But for whatever reason, he was allowed to keep his phone.
He should not have been allowed to keep anything. If you're being detained, right, or arrested, you have to have all your personal belongings off of you that may assume to be a threat. You have to remove all of that stuff from you.
Exactly.
If you have any drugs or anything, that's on you, by the time you get to the precinct, that's going to be an additional charge on you.
Once again, he deemed fit that he could have his phone.
I don't know who deemed that fit, but
Okay.
you guys heard
Next.
the argument, and this is our conclusion, or you
Well,
know.
I can't even say
this
it's a
is it.
conclusion yet. I'm going to show one more video. This situation went so viral,
Okay.
right? It became viral in the essence that TMZ picked up the story.
Oh wow, let's check
So
that
let's
out.
see what they have to say.
It's a warm day to be wearing that jacket. You're gonna get hit by a car here. You're gonna get hit by a car here. Stop. Stop. I'm asking you to stop. I'm asking you to stop. I'm doing a traffic stop on you. You walked across the road in front of a car.
Okay, so that's what I was trying to explain to you. That child looked the least bit worried about any car coming at him. If you looked at his eyes, he did look at the car before the car even approached. The officer assumed that they were going to get hit by the car. The car was at
The
a
car
distance.
situation is irrelevant.
It's irrelevant,
It's
but
irrelevant, but the cop did use the car situation as
a reason
for jaywalking.
to detain the kid.
However, it's irrelevant. He stopped him because he fit the narrative or the characteristics of a typical teen.
Okay, so
Or a typical ghetto teen, to be quite frank.
So he
One of
couldn't-
those
so
teens
he
committing
couldn't-
takeovers and certain things.
during the walk chase that he gave, he couldn't prove that any reason to stop him back then
But-
until the car situation came about, and that was the only reason
Right.
why he had to put his hands on him to literally stop him.
Right, exactly.
Now you have a reason to stop him.
Right, exactly.
Dad said that his son was handcuffed and detained, reportedly because his son looked suspicious while wearing his hood. Jesse Lopez Sr. shared videos of his son, Jesse Lopez Jr., being approached by an officer who mentioned that he was wearing a jacket in warm weather. Lopez Sr. said to the Shade Room that the reason that his son was wearing a jacket was because he suffers from eczema and direct sunlight aggravates his skin condition. In the second video, Jesse Jr. recorded himself in the back of a vehicle. He is handcuffed in this video. Lopez Sr. shared that he is looking at this incident as a life lesson. He posted all these videos on Instagram, and in the caption of these videos, he said that he needs to make sure that his son knows how to interact with police, even when he feels that he has done nothing wrong. He ended up handcuffed and detained because he didn't want to stop and answer their questions. Following these videos circulating online, the Williamsport Bureau of Police released a statement saying, "We are aware of cell phone video circulating on social media involving a pedestrian stop. We want to clarify that the stop was not conducted by the Williamsport Bureau of Police, and we do not have any information regarding the circumstances surrounding the incident." They said that the officer is a part of the DA's office. They added, "We understand that the videos shared online can raise questions and concerns within our community. We encourage everyone to seek accurate information from the appropriate agency." Fox 56 reached out to the DA office. They say that the office declined to comment on the circumstances of the stop, but that citations will be issued as part of an ongoing criminal investigation.
Now keep in mind, unless you are being detained, you do have the right to remain silent. You don't have to answer any questions unless
But you do
are
have to
being
stop.
detained.
You do have to stop. You can stop and stay mum, but you have to stop. You can't keep going. You got to stop.
Why am I stopping? What suspicion do you have to stop me at this moment? I can't walk. It's not a free country.
90 degrees in a hood.
Is it not a public sidewalk?
90
I can't
degrees
walk?
in a hood.
90 degrees in the hood. That's perfect. That's your perfect example right there to stop me.
Listen, yes.
You have nothing else better to do,
Once
officer.
again, especially as I said before, listen, you can't blame the officer. You got to blame all the kids who looks like him, who's out here committing all the crimes and doing a bunch of egregious stuff. You got to blame the kids. You got to blame the teenagers. Things are now on the up and up as far as cops trying to crack down on certain situations, because we've heard about the Daytona beaches, the Virginia beaches, right? The Chicago situations, and so on and so forth, almost in every single major city.
Okay.
So right now, it's not a time for teenagers to be out here perpetrating to look like another teenager. Now would be the worst time on the face of the planet to do that, because it's given suspect. No matter how you want to turn the narrative and change the situation around, it all roads leads right back to listen. If you know that there are certain things going on within your community, stay clear of the closing doors, as they say on the subway. Stay away from problems. And I'm not going to repeat the same thing because I know I said it earlier and I don't want to sound like I'm reiterating the same thing, right? But if you know that there's a situation, why are you going to dress like that?
So
All this hoodie stuff, it doesn't look right. It
You
doesn't
see,
make
it-
sense.
it
It's
goes
not to
back-
say that it's below 30 outside and you got your hoodie on.
it goes
Okay,
back
it gives
to trying
suspect.
to control the narrative that you can't wear what you want to wear.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You really can't.
It's not about that. You got to blame the teenagers who made it bad for the regular teenagers.
I know some
You gotta be-
teenagers. I know some teenagers, right? The fact that it be so cold inside of the school, by the time they're let out of the school,
What school is cold, Quace?
they're still cold.
What school is
In
closed? Cold.
In some states, the air conditioning,
I don't know any schools
that's
with air
the reason why they
conditioning.
bring their little hoodies
Besides
to
the
school.
computer room, I know no schools of air conditioning.
So,
And our son's school is damn near $2,000 a month. I don't know any schools with air conditioner or air conditioning outside of the computer room.
well, that's been questioned
So-
by many teenagers as to why they wear the hoodies.
No, they're
They-
not.
they
No,
said-
no. They're now claiming that they don't get hot.
Well,
They're
I
not
don't know.
hot.
I don't know what kind of.
I don't know what kind of blood they have or whether or not if they're severely anemic, God forbid. But I don't know why they're running around here in full-blown sweatsuits. It's so crazy because I saw a kid yesterday by Home Depot. It's hot outside, literally baking
right,
hot.
Right.
I think I was wearing maybe jeans or shorts and a t-shirt. And I'm hot. And this kid, he's full-blown sweatsuit. And not to mention, we
Well-
were in the car. He was walking. You mean to tell me, Mr. Sir, you're not hot? It doesn't make sense to me. I don't care what
I mean,
they say.
at the end
it
of the
doesn't
day,
make
at the end
sense.
of the day, it's still up to that person to decide their body temperature. It's not up to somebody else to look at them and say,
But
"Hey,
it's
take
given
that off."
suspicion. You out here in a ski mask. Not this kid,
ski
right? But I'm
mask?
talking about other kids.
Okay.
They're out here in ski masks. They're out here in, like I said,
Now those-
fully covered
Okay, those
sweatsuits.
Those you can understand, and you can say, "Well,
And
yeah."
you can't tell me that
that's
you're
a
not
problem.
hot. That's crazy.
That's a problem. I do agree with that.
So, like I said, I cannot fault the police for doing their jobs because the more people that they find with weaponry or people that is out to do harm or cause harm,
Right.
it's
It's
the
better-
better for
Right.
for
Better
us
they
as
control the
citizens.
community.
It's better for us
Right.
as regular people, regular everyday people who are not committing crimes, who just want to be safe.
But it's a
better
tough
for
it's
us.
a tough situation.
It's
at the
not
end
a
of the
tough
day because
situation. What happened?
it
The
adds-
people
it-
that they're pulling over,
It
they're
adds
gonna,
harassment.
No, the people that they're pulling
know what I'm
over,
saying?
their
It
feelings
adds
are going to be.
harassment and it
That's
adds-
okay. Let's get some harassment going in order, right? In order for changes to be made. What happened? Their feelings are going to be hurt for 5 minutes, 5 days max? Please. Listen, the main point is they did their due diligence and they got to make sure that everything is safe and secured. Because if they don't do their jobs, the same very people
Right.
I was playing. But the same very people who are trying to enable this nonsense are the same people that's going to say, but why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do that?
You're giving me a title as the enabler.
Yes, I am.
I haven't enabled anything. I spoke for something that was totally, sensible. Like, you know what I'm saying? So the enabled. No, I don't accept that title. But you guys can decide, and you guys can let us know, I guess, how you feel about this whole topic.
Right. Leave your comments down below in the comment section and let us know what you think of this situation. Do you think the officer was wrong for not pulling over the kid because it's not a traffic stop?
Right.
But do you think he was wrong for stopping him and asking him questions? Or do you think the child or the teenager should have complied with the officer and just simply explained himself? And then I'm pretty certain he would have been on his way. Let us know what you think. And that's about it for now, guys.
Correct.
TCAM for life.
It is a hot topic, so we should be reading a lot of comments. So until next time, we'll check you guys later.